I'm John Jack Rogers, and I'm here with May Quigley Goodman, who I've known for many, many, many years, as I have most of the people we are interviewing, which makes the interviewing more fun. I'm still going to read, though, because I don't have a great memory and I don't want to forget anything. I want to introduce you to May. May Quigley Goodman is an actress, director, producer, and teacher. I was going to ask you, in Rehearsal Technique, which is a class you created here at Stella Adler.
Yes.
What do you do in it?
Well, I wanted to make sure that there was a class that enabled our students to apply everything they had been learning so far.
Right.
Because oftentimes in technique class, you're very involved with the technique exercises.
Yes.
Then you go to script and it becomes all about script. And sometimes, you know, they're young, you don't always bring the technique with you. So I wanted to have a class where they could apply everything they had been learning and know how to rehearse on their own.
Well,
because in this town, so often your first audition is your first rehearsal.
Amen.
If you're liked, you're brought back, that's your second rehearsal. Then if you get the job and you're on set, the director, you know, doesn't give you a lot of time in the beginning.
Wouldn't you agree? I say this a lot to myself and to acting students here at Stella Adler Academy. Technique is homework. It's mostly homework.
Yes.
You have to learn to do it on your own. That's part of it.
And you cannot put yourself in a position to rely on someone else to give it to you.
Right.
That's the whole point of having a technique.
Right.
That is one of the main reasons any of us studied, is I wanted to know how to be able to create something with depth, and I wanted to know how to do it more than once.
Right.
You know, because with consistency comes confidence. And when you know how to work in every circumstance, you have the ability to ensure your performance is going to be strong.
And you give yourself a better chance for a career.
A much better chance for a career. Also, it reminds us of the joy. You know, the work and the preparation is the fun and exciting. Every time I learn something, every time I figure out, and the same with the students, something about a character. For example, Brilliant Traces. The play takes place in the middle of Alaska. The guy works on an oil rig. He is a loner. The other character in the play has driven from Arizona. She has escaped her own wedding. She's a runaway bride and ends up in Alaska. Now, most of our students, have never been to Alaska, have no idea what that would consist of. So part of the process is obviously you start to find out things about Alaska, about working on an oil rig. You start to take the facts of the play, which is one of the first things I do with the students, is you take the facts of the play, you write them out so that you can go back, research them, but more importantly, then embellish them with your imagination so that you can experience these facts.
Yes, and make them your own.
Make them your own. And it not only gives you an insight into the play, the character, but it also reminds you of what you're responsible to know.
Wow.
You know, so there's not a lot of guesswork.
Right.
There's a lot of spontaneity, but that's different than guesswork. It's coming from a structure, and a structure that is not going to leave you in the lurch. Every time Stella would mention an author, a painter, a musician, I ran to get, you know, the book. I went to the museum. I went to the photo library, because she instilled in us, which we instill in our students, this passion for research.
Right.
Because research is something that helps to jumpstart our imagination in some regards. But also research is what starts to give us those specific details that enable us to understand a social moment, our character, what it is the playwright's trying to say.
She was tough.
She was, oh boy.
But that's what everyone talks about all the time, how tough she was, but people forget to mention the love she had for actors and her students and the support she gave.
Well, the love was extraordinary, because I think that that was the biggest draw. If you know, once you met her, besides this extraordinary energy that came out of her and the brilliant interpretation and ideas. She was my college.